Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Chris. Hope you're doing great. Today I want to take a look at the Leica M10-D. This is a very special camera because there is no screen at the back. As you can see here, there's nothing, just a little wheel. And many years after its release, I still want to talk about it because I think this is one of the best Leica M cameras out there right now. First thing I want to bring up is how does this compare to analog photography? Like, let's say you have an M6. Is it the same? Well, no, it's not the same, but it is very close. In terms of results, I think film photography has that grain, that look, that's something that I don't think digital can reproduce exactly. It can get real close, but not exactly the same. There's something to it that, it will always be film. But in terms of user experience, this comes really, really close. In fact, when I saw it the first time recently, this was lended to me by a very good friend of mine. His name is Daniel. And I saw it and I just instantly fell in love. The reason for that is, A, because there's no screen at the back and there's only this little wheel here that allows you to turn it on or off and to put it on Wi-Fi mode, which by the way is the only way for you to see your photos other than obviously the computer by using the Leica Photo app. And there's a little dial inside here that allows you to set your exposure compensation. By the way, I always have it around -1/3 of a stop just to have a little bit more wiggle room to play afterwards in post. There's this little thumb rest here that you can open and it just looks so cool. How you can hold your camera like this because the M is very boxy and this really makes it not slip out of your fingers. We usually use the hot shoe mount, with other M cameras, but this one has it, so it's just great. Other than that, you have the little ISO dial like any other M camera, and that's pretty much it. That's all there is to say about the looks of this little guy. So first time I went out on the streets, how was my experience? Well, you go out, you look, you compose your shot, clack, you take your photo, and you kind of want to do this, and you're like, oh, I can't. That's the first limitation where you go, okay, what's happening? It really is like that. I really felt like that. And I felt like the good old days when you just could not look at your photo and you had 36 photos and that's all you could shoot. In fact, I went to Lausanne the other day and I think I shot roughly 25 photos, that's it. And out of those 25, there was maybe 80% that were actually good. I was just shocked because it's not like you're just gonna shoot. An M camera is not a camera you use to shoot a lot of photos, but if you can chimp and just look and say, oh, well, I'm gonna shoot that one again. A, you're not shooting the moment anymore, it's another moment. And B, you're kind of cheating and it takes away from the pleasure of taking that photo, perfect or not. I like to have shots that are just missed and not good because it means I'm improving myself. It means I made a mistake and it means next time I'll try to change something so that it's better. It's a process and you need to trust the process. So that's kind of what this camera is all about. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but I have the TT Artisan 28mm f5.6 on here. I will do a review soon, so stay tuned. Funny anecdote, when I came back from that shoot in Lausanne the other day, my wife told me, so how did it go? And I told her, I don't know, no idea. Because it's true, I had no clue how it went. I didn't see my photos, so I was in a bit of a mystery, and that's really, really cool. So you're saving the money from having to spend on film and you're saving the time because you can look at them right away, but you still have that feel of, not having a display. That brings me to the next point, and that is, yes, but you could do this with other cameras. And the answer is, yes, you kind of could, but not really. You kind of could because you could disable the LCD at the back or just put something in front of it and you just don't see it. That's fine. If you have enough discipline to do that, which I don't, it's great. But most modern cameras still have an EVF. And the EVF is an electronic viewfinder. So you're looking at a screen that shows you the exposure. So instinctively, you're not going to shoot photos over or underexposed because you can control it and see it in the viewfinder. So that already takes away from this experience. And if you want to talk about normal other M cameras, yeah, you could totally put something in front of it. But let's say someone asks you, hey, can I see the photo? You either tell him, no, you can't because I don't want to, or you actually can. And in this case, a couple of people asked me, hey, can I see the shot? And I said, no, you can't, sorry. So that's the end of the discussion. There's nothing else to talk about. Could you use this for professional work? My personal answer is no, I don't think so. Nowadays, clients want more and more specific things, and this is kind of a risk because you don't know if the photo you're taking is going to be like that. Now, one challenge that came to mind that I would love to do, let me know in the comment section below if that's something that you would be curious to see, is to shoot a wedding using only the Leica M10-D. Being a professional wedding photographer, I kind of know how to shoot, but not being able to see what I'm shooting is a bit like taking the risk of shooting with an M6 or, you know, an analog camera. But in this case, you can still tweak a few things afterwards if a shot is not really good. But at the same time, you don't really know how it's going to look. So there, let me know. My personal conclusion about this camera and thoughts is that it is not a gimmick. That answers the question, is this a gimmick? No, it's not. It is a camera with no screen, and it brings so much to the table and to the process. As an experienced photographer, I can't recommend a camera more than this one. Now, it is a limited edition. I think only 2,000 copies were made, and it is not available for sale anymore, and you have to find it secondhand, and it's expensive, it's hard to find, but the pleasure it brings you is just, I mean, there's no price for that as a photographer. Oh, and before I forget, and in fact, I almost forgot, the resolution of the sensor is 24 megapixels. It's a CMOS sensor. And that's about all I want to tell you about the specs. There, see you in my next video. Keep taking great shots that you don't see, and take care. Cheers.